New toy today, Streamlight tlr-8 laser light, 500 looms off the light, laser coming out the bottom. So I brought this to the range to zero it in, play around with it, and your adjustments, windage and elevation, are right there. There's no clicks to those, they just keep spinning, and you kind of have to guesstimate how far you've moved by how far you've turned your little Allen wrench, which was a pain in the butt to get it zeroed, but once it was zeroed, it worked fine. Convenience of this, battery comes out the front here instead of the back, so you don't have to take it off and have to re-zero it every time you change the battery. Let's see, you may be able to see it here. This little thing, that little, how do I say it? The little symbol right there. When it's turned all the way tight, you'll be able to turn it on. You have to turn this off, and you kind of feel a little audible stop, or it's a physical stop, and if you're close enough to it, you can hear a little audible click there where it won't turn on. I learned the hard way that you have to do that when it's in storage, because I left this in my safe for a while and the battery was dead. Well, the light wouldn't turn on, the laser would, because I guess when it's turned all the way around, it's kind of sucking up battery life. There's a little notch right there on either side that you just press in and turn it on, and it's programmable whether you want just the laser, just the light, or both. And I use both because why would you have a laser light without both? Let's see, as far as using a laser, there's a lot of people out there with a mindset that you will spend more time looking for the laser than you will shooting. I have a problem with this because that's a training issue. That's entirely a training issue. If you haven't spent years practicing with a laser, I shouldn't say years, if you haven't spent hours upon hours upon hours, because that years you spent using iron sights wasn't years using iron sights, it was hours and hours and hours at the range using iron sights. But if you haven't spent the time, you're not going to be as good. What I will say, though, is I'm fairly decent with it, as in I've I zeroed it at 7 yards at an indoor range, and I put a magazine in, and on a sheet of computer paper, what's that, 11 by 8 inches or something like that, put an entire magazine through it as fast as I can with the laser, kept everything on sight, or everything on the paper at that distance, and it was a cadence of pop, 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 pop the entire time. As well, what I did is I took a permanent marker, put a little dot in the center of it, so I kind of knew the laser was at the exact same spot each time. Every time the laser got to there, squeeze the trigger. I can't do that with iron sights that fast, and if I did that fast, the group would open up considerably. They all wouldn't have stayed on the paper. A lot of people overthink things like this. They overthink the trying to get the laser in the exact same perfect spot. Same thing with red dots. People overthink it, and people don't practice with it and expect that, oh, you put some new thing on there, you're going to be just as good with it right away as you are with the iron sights. That's baloney. You do have to practice with it, and once you are practiced with it, it does make it a little easier. It's not going to turn you into tactical ninja, but nice tool. I haven't gotten a holster for this yet. I don't think they make duty holsters for them yet, or if they do, they're not, widely out there. I will eventually get a concealed carry holster for this. I didn't this time because the last holster I bought, I wanted something to be able to take my duty weapon, take it straight out of the holster without having to take a light off, and put it right in my concealed carry holster. And not because I lose flashlights that way. I had to put a section of Picatinny on my desk and on my dresser, so that when I do take the lights off, I just put them right there and they don't get lost. pro tip, hide them, you know, put that piece of Picatinny out of sight, and, you know, your girlfriend, spouse, whoever won't be annoyed by random stuff drilled into the furniture. Let's see, other than the running out of damn battery life and the issue with the pain in the butt getting it zeroed, it just took way more ammunition than it should have. If it had clicks, you know, you'd be able to very easily estimate how far off you are. I mean, I went from, hey, I'm shooting way left on the target, to, hey, I'm shooting completely off target to the right. And it just, you know, it went from, okay, turn a half turn one way, no, I need to turn it a quarter turn the other way, no, an eighth turn. How do you judge a 16th of a turn with a damn Allen wrench? So yeah, it took a little bit, but other than that and the battery life thing, it wasn't, or not the battery life, the remembering to, see, I completely forgot to do it, to turn the bezel in the front so it doesn't waste your battery life. It's not a real issue, or there's no real problems with it. Although, say if this is going to be your, you know, carry or concealed carry flashlight, you are going to have to get in the habit of turning that on and off constantly, or turning the bezel, that is. I don't know how long it was that was sitting in my safe before the battery went dead, but it seemed like probably a month or two before the battery needed to be replaced. I don't like changing batteries that often. That seems ridiculous to do that, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, but other than that, good toy, good tool. If you want to spend your money on a laser light, that's the cheaper way to go versus the Streamlight tlr-8, and it is smaller, so it's a little easier to, you know, if it's a concealed carry weapon, a little easier to handle that. Y'all have a good day.